Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are having a great weekend. It's very hot here in the greenhouse. All my plants have just had a drink. Everything's growing crazy right now. The tomatoes are doing really well. I turned them around earlier today, so they're all pointing in the wrong direction, but don't worry, they will sort themselves out as soon as they figure out that the sun is this way. Geranium's looking great. Everything else looking great. We've got some tomatillos coming on there. We've got some cucumbers coming. We've got some peppers doing their thing. More cucumbers. And I said over there, tomatoes. Everything is growing right now. And it is a really lovely time to see things in the garden. Some things are looking a little bit fed up because we've finally got summer arrived. It's really hot here. Like super, super hot today. We've got a weather warning out for extreme heat over the weekend. And hey, look, the truck has arrived. In case you haven't watched the video this week, the F-150 Lightning Lariat arrived. This is a Diratal. They are an extended range Ford F-150 Lightning, and the pollen has just started to get all over this truck, despite it having ceramic coating earlier this week. It is a bit of a big truck though. The ludicrousness of having this parked here is not lost on me. If you compare my wife's Chevrolet Bolt with my truck, you can see the size difference and the height difference. It is a bit bonkers. Earlier on today, I did get to charge Michael's Volt from this truck. So that was fun. And hey, look, a pride sticker, because we need more pride in the world. The weather has been so horrible throughout the early part of this year that now summer has decided to descend on us. Things are getting kind of a bit bonkers. Things are growing really quickly and it's kind of catching me unawares. But look, the air conditioning is still working. It's saving us so much in terms of energy, because it's a lot cheaper to use than the old window mount air conditioning systems, but it also means that we stay cool and we get good night's sleep as well. So I'm very grateful that we are having solar powered heat pumps right now. And in case you're curious, yesterday when we filmed stuff yesterday, it was the longest day. And we generated 85 kilowatt hours throughout the day on the roof. And I suspect today is going to be even more, because there was a little bit of low cloud yesterday morning. Today has been perfectly clear. Chickens are not happy about the heat. Everyone else seems quite happy, at least in the garden and in the house with a heat pump. But that's not what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about charging stations, specifically smart connected charging stations. So in the UK, on the 30th of June, a new regulation comes into force that says if you buy a new charging station or you install a new charging station, whether that is domestic or commercial, it needs to be smart grid enabled. And what they mean by that is the utility company has to be able to reach out to your charging station and go, would you mind terribly turning off? Would you mind maybe not finishing charging up that car, because grid demand right now is really high and we'd really like it if that electricity can go to other things. So effectively what they like to call demand response, to make sure that the power companies have enough power for everybody without needing to turn on excess power plants. And from an environmental point of view, that is a great thing, because if electric car owners can get together and reduce when high carbon electricity is being used by their vehicles, the better. A lot of people have concerns about it, because it also means that data about your charging is getting sent to the utility company and I guess to the government as well. And I think a lot of people are like, I'm worried that the next thing on that list will be, we see you have an electric car, now you have to pay tax for the electricity that you use to power your EV and tax that differently to the electricity that you use for everything else. Obviously, if you have your own solar panels, you're going to have a different charging pattern to people who don't. And this regulation doesn't appear to take that into consideration. It's if the grid is in demand right now, high demand, and we want you to stop charging your car, we can reach out and ask your car to either stop charging or slow down. I believe you can opt out of the requests, but you can't opt out of having a smart grid enabled charger. If you have an old school charger, don't worry, you're not part of the regulation. It's only if you have a new charging station at this particular point. And it's got me wondering, is that something that you think other countries are going to do? Is that something we're going to start seeing in the US and Canada? Is it something we're going to see in other parts of Europe? Is it going to be something that we see down in Australia or New Zealand? I would love to know if you think that's something that's going to happen more and more and more. And if it were to happen, how would you feel about it? If you live somewhere where it's not happening right now, is that something that you would be okay with? Here at the house, I have HomeKit and I also have Home Assistant. So HomeKit is the Apple system, but then I also have Home Assistant, which allows me to integrate a whole load of different things. So in the winter, you may remember Artemis, who, by the way, had a very spectacular exit this week from our life by deciding to seize her brakes up and requiring a tow in order to go to the local dealership who bought her. They're going to fix the brakes, don't worry, but she decided to just stick her brakes on all the way down the hill as a kind of last resort. And so we had to buy a Diratal, go to a U-Haul, pick up a trailer, and then tow my old car to its new home on the back of a trailer. She just didn't want to leave. Anyway, rat run aside. Home Assistant has plugins that allow you to monitor your grid CO2 emissions and also monitor things like your photovoltaic power output. And I'm going to be writing some automations soon that will allow me to control how much power this truck uses when it's charging, how much Kate's car is charging, how much Michael's car is charging when he's here, just by how much power we're producing on the roof of our home and the grid carbon footprint. So if it's a high grid carbon footprint, say above 50 grams of CO2 per kilowatt hour, we'll tell the cars to stop charging. If we're producing a huge amount of power on the roof, tell the cars just charge. And hopefully that will be a fun project. And if you want me to put that on the channel, let me know in the future. But this is something very different. This is a utility company saying, no, we definitely want you to stop charging now. So let me know how you feel about that in the comments below. Do you think it's something that you should be forced to pay for? Do you think it's something that you should be forced to do? Or are you just going to go real guerrilla style and just use a 13 amp plug in the UK and plug into a 240 outlet? Or maybe a 110 outlet here in North America? I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. This is the second time, by the way, that I have filmed this Sunday Musing, because the first time we filmed it, the memory card for the GoPro decided to die. It literally cracked in half when we took the card out of the camera. This is the second time, I think, in the last 12 months that we've lost a memory card. We are very hard on them, but that's something that I'm sure shouldn't be happening. Anyway, that is it for today. If you did like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to leave your thoughts below or in our free to join Discord chat room. There are links in the video description. And if you really liked today's video, be sure to give a super thanks to us. It's really easy to do so. And if you do, anything you will leave or do leave will go towards helping make the channel great and making sure that we make great content. If you haven't already, do make sure that you've subscribed both to this channel and to our main channel, Transport Evolved. And also make sure that you hit the notification bell, because sometimes if you are subscribed but you do not hit the notification bell, bad things happen. Thanks on behalf of the entire TE crew go out to the folks on my right for being our $15 to $49 a month supporters. Special thanks to our $50 a month patrons. That is Chris Maxwell, Pedro Muro Pinheiro, Patrick Boyarsky, Bennett Elder, Brian Newton, Dave Kitchen, Michael Goad, Ricky Leon, Andrew Martin, Guido Drahota, Brophy Wolf, Tazla in the Gong, Gordon C, Stephen O'Donoghue, Carl Hodgson, Anthony Coates, Regine Fellows, Jim Burness, Chris Asentar, Chris and Michael Johnson, Pete and Dilliger and Denny Hyde, and of course our deepest gratitude to our top tier supporters. They are Anonymous Freak, Marcel Ward, Reggie Watts, Rory Litwin, Joe Bresney, Reed R, JP Fagerback, Russ, Will Grayling, Matthew Drobnak, John Lyons, Andrew Glenn, Paul Conway, Laura Reynolds, Ellery Hensley, and of course, last but not least, Ian. If you would like to join that amazing group, don't forget to follow the Patreon link in the description, or you can go over to our main channel and hit the join button there. And if you do that, you gain special access to our videos ahead of time. This week, we weren't able to do that with all the videos. For example, this video about the F-150 Lightning unboxing, we weren't able to pre-release that because we had some issues rendering the video. But when we do get our videos up early, they do go out early to our supporters. So if you're watching this on Sunday and you are a Patreon or YouTube member for the channel, you'll get to see Kate Morton Elliott's staff car update. I think it is today. It's going out today. Everyone else has to wait until Monday to see it. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, keep evolving.